Hi, welcome back to another episode of Cold Stream Rod Shop. I'm Derek Fraser. In this week's episode, we'll most likely be working more on the 32 5-window coupe. I'm not sure which things we're going to work on. I think I will start off working on the rear window wood. I realize that the cowl vent is missing a piece, so I don't know whether I'm going to be making it or if the owner is going to order one. We'll see. Got to talk to him about it. He doesn't know right now. There's a couple brackets up inside we have to finish working on. And then at some point in time, we have to chop the windshield frame to fit this and do garnish moldings, chop the garnish moldings on the inside. Should be doing some of that this week. We also would really like to get the hood louvered on the Camera Lady's Roadster. I want to try and lay that out this week. I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to get to go work the louver press. It's either going to be this weekend or next weekend. And then the other thing with the Camera Lady's Roadster, we've got to start thinking about how to make the bench seat. So at the minimum, I kind of would like to start cutting out the plywood for the bottom of the back and getting some ideas of how to get that rolling. So anyways, this week we'll work on the 32 5-window coupe, and we'll do some more stuff on the Camera Lady's 32 Ford Roadster. At the beginning of the episode, I mentioned we want to get the Camera Lady's hood louvered. We have the two pieces laid out right now. I've got some Dykem spray onto it, some bluing. I also have another hood here, which is a 35 pickup hood. So the plan is to go back down to the gentleman's place that owns the box and the pickup, where we did a video not so long ago setting up his louver die or louver press, where we pressed these samples. We pressed out 3-inch, 2-inch, and 5-inch louvers on that test panel. We got his machine all up and running with the intention of going back at some point in time and louvering our hood and then louvering his when the time came. So it looks like the time is here now. So what I'm going to do more than likely is lay out probably 3 rows of 3-inch louvers here on the 35 pickup hood, and more than likely 2 rows on the 32 Roadster hood. I did cheat. I watched a really good video by a guy by Bennet's Customs in Australia. He's a Canadian guy. Did a really good step-by-step video on how to lay the louvers out. I'm not going to go into as much detail as what he did, but I'm going to show you as we go what we do, and we'll show you the punching of the louvers down at the gentleman's place. But if you really want a step-by-step, very detailed explanation of how to lay the louvers out, just watch Bennett's Customs. We'll try and put a link at the end of the video here because it's a really good video on how to lay them out. It is straightforward. We'll go through the high-level stuff of how we lay it out, the spacing and everything else. So what I'll do now, I'm going to get some rulers and a sharp piece of steel. I'll start laying it out and I'll show you the logic of what we're doing. So it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and here is the louver plan. I've got it laid out. The way I did it, I did 2 inches from here to the sides of the louvers. My louvers are 3 inches wide. I put 2 inches space between the next set of louvers. And again, they're 3 inches wide. And then what I did, I ran a center line down the center of the louver. And it may seem kind of stupid to put the extra tape where I'm going to start and where I'm going to stop, but I really, really don't want to make a mistake. So I want to know where the center line is, where I'm going to start my louvers, and when I'm going to stop them. So on the 32 Roadster, we're going to do a line of 16 and a line of 12. That kind of is the look we want to kind of get. And with the louvers being basically flat, with the firewall is flat, they're not staggered. Now on the flip side, on the 35 pickup hood, we're going to run 3 lines of them. I'm only going to run the louvers into the section where the hood is flat. I don't want to get into the curved areas. You can louver them there, but I don't want to get anything distorted. So, and also the owner wants like a staggered set of louvers in the hood. So we're going to put quite a few more. We're going to do a line of 18, a line of 14, and then a line of 8 over here on the side. Same approach. We did 2 inches from the center line here, 2 inches in between each set of rows. They're 3-inch wide louvers, and then I've got a center line going down the center of it. And then if you watch Bennet Customs video on louvers, I mean, the one thing he did, he writes a C here. Seems kind of silly, but I can tell you when you're working on things and you see the center line, you know where to start. Do as much prep as you possibly can. Think about as many things ahead as you can. Don't stress out over it. You know, I've seen actually people punch louvers in reverse, so that's why if I make sure I start in the front, the louver is going to be shaped like this. So I want my louver pointing this way. It's easy to make a mistake when you go to do it. So anyways, I think we're all set up. I'm going to run this by the camera lady because it's her car. I've already showed her a picture of a 32 Ford Roadster, a red one with a similar kind of set of louvers on the hood. Essentially, this is what it's going to be. And then, like I said, the owner of this one, he sent me a picture of a pickup with a louvered hood, and I did my best to kind of replicate this layout here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, with our particular louvers, there's 1.25 inches between each louver. Sometimes there's more on them, but even when we did the samples here, if I measure every one of those louvers, they're all exactly 1.25 inches apart. And we could repeat that over and over and over as we went through. We weren't accumulating any error as we went. So fingers crossed, we'll do the same thing here on Sunday when we go to do this. Okay, today we're at our friend's place that we do a lot of work for. You've seen this before. This is his louver press. Really like to have it myself, but anyways, I just have to play with somebody else's machine. This is the test panel. I wanted to do a test panel at first. The main reason is I wanted to make sure that my 1.25 inches was not going to accumulate an error, because typically what I've done in the past when I've used the machine is that I'm going to come in and I'm going to line up my first one, and then the second louver we're going to typically hook on the back of here. If your measurement is off a 64th or whatever, it's going to accumulate, and then your louvers would keep on traveling off your line. But what I've learned here after doing these 2 pieces, which is what I expected, was that it's an exact amount. It's 1.25 inches between each one of the louvers. The critical thing is getting that first one absolutely perfect, absolutely perpendicular, and then when you do, you can then hook on it for your spacing. And then this louver die itself actually has a line scribed into it. I've just gone ahead and put a little bit of black mark there. That way I can see it better. And this was the reason why we put the center line down here. So we're going to come in, we're going to line it up, we're going to get square, and then just precisely do each one after the other. So I'm quite happy with the test panel. We'll probably take that home, hang it up on the wall somewheres. Next up, the plan is to do our 32, which is going to be 2 rows. When we've got the 32 done, then we're going to do the 35, which is the triple row. Just progressively make it more difficult. So anyways, watch along. We're not going to show you the whole thing. We'll show you a bunch of louvers getting pressed, and then hopefully we'll show you some perfectly louvered hoods. Fingers crossed, at the very end. I'll make my friend happy because he let me use his press and I got his hood properly done. Like I said, we got to get the first one absolutely perfect. It's got to go in there. And I can't. Bump it. And it's done. That's 2 done. We're completely committed to doing it. So. So that's it. We have the 35 hood done with a triple row. It didn't screw anything up. I sweated along the way doing it, mind you, because I didn't want to screw anything up. But the result, very, very happy with the result. Whatever variance was in it was so minuscule that you can never tell. There was no accumulation on the inch and quarter spacing whatsoever. It averaged out at the very end, and actually very happy with this. I put the louvers in the right place. So that's it for the 32 and the 35 louvered hoods. So for those of you who are following along the channel, we did a 34 Ford frame recently with split wishbones and stuff onto it. What we were talking about was that eventually there was going to be a 33 5-window coupe body going on the chassis. Kind of switched gears. The one that we did is going to go on another project. Another one of the ones that we did prior to that was 4-bar front end actually fit underneath the 33 Ford 5-window coupe. This is an original body. It's not been really molested at all except for a couple holes welded in the firewall. Then there's going to be some clearance made for the distributor. That's about it. But at some point in time, this will be coming back to the shop for some more work. Not sure exactly what we're going to finish off on it, but it's going to be coming. But again, it's an original, no holes, 33 5-window coupe that's been, I think, sitting around 25 years or more. Since 1967, it's been sitting around, looking for a home. So this is going to be a running hot rod at some point in time. It's not going to get painted. It's just going to be left patina as it is. The whole thing is put it together, run it, drive it, and have fun with it. So we're back in the wood shop after louvering the hood for the Campbell Ladies Roadster. One more thing we wanted to do was work on the rear window wood for the 32 5-window coupe. I've made these before, made all of the pieces except for one. I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not. If I did, forgive me. If not, then indulge me. What I've made before were these side wood pieces. They connect, the inside here connects to the metal on the side of the window. There's a section that goes across the top here, which I didn't make before, because fortunately we had them in all the other cars. But we've had to make the 2 vertical pieces, and as well I've made this metal piece that goes across the bottom. It's basically a drip tray. What's missing on this particular one, there's a little cap here, and there'll be a little drain that'll come out, a little drain into the floor. And then there's also a cover panel that belongs to another piece of sheet metal we've got out in the shop. I'll show you that later. So right now what I've done, I've determined that the roof on the 32.5 window was topped, on my calculation. An original window is 9 inches. We went and measured the Moncton Coupe, and ours is 6 7/8. So they chopped it 2 1/8 of an inch, probably trying to get it at 2 inches. So what we have to do is what I had to do was take these 2 side pieces that I copied off an original and shorten them by 2 1/8 of an inch. So that's what these 2 pieces here are on the side. There's a few things into it. It's not overly complex. It's 7 7/8 of an inch thick stock. There are a couple relief cuts here. What they're for is where the window tracks hook in. It's just a relief cut. There's a notch here for a piece that goes across, which we have an original right there. I'm going to have to make a copy of that for this one. And then there's some relief holes here to put the through bolts in that bolt into the sheet metal piece. So I know I'm probably flipping up and down here, but the window, it's going to go in the window in this direction. So the window is going to be across here. This section doesn't screw into anything because with a window that goes up and down, it goes up and down underneath here. There's a large wooden piece that goes across the top, which I started making. Unfortunately, I made it a little bit too short. So we're going to make another one, but it looks something like that. It's my trial piece, so we're going to make another one up to the right width. We took the measurements off the Moncton Coupe. It is, well, I've got some measurements here. The cross section of it right there, 1 3/4 by 2 1/4, 1 1/4 across the top, and there's a relief along the back. We have to basically trim it. If you can see here, there's the profile, and then we have to trim it here to clear some of the sheet metal. But furthermore, there's also a relief on the side here that I'm just going to do in a joiner. So what I'm going to do, like I said, it's not uncommon to make a piece up 1 or 2 times. You kind of have to get the piece, fit it the best you can. And if you made the measurements wrong, then you know how to make it. You go back and make the second one. Sometimes you get it right the first time too. But anyways, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make up another one of these pieces to go across the top there. And then we're going to make up this piece, and that'll be it, besides taking it over and sticking it in the car and fitting it. And then, like I said, once I get the wood done, I do have to make a couple repairs to the drip tray. We've got to make a cap on the end of the drain, and there's a couple tiny pinholes here that we're going to have to fill up. So all right, follow along. We're going to try and wrap up getting this rear window done here for the 5-window coupe. So there's the last 2 pieces completed. The top section, like I said, I just needed to make it a little wider. First one was good, but just not wide enough. There's 26 inches between here and here, and I was just short for some reason, measured wrong, cut it wrong, happens. But nevertheless, another new piece of oak we've done across the top. This section here, I just copied the original I just showed you earlier. Piece of 3/4 inch thick red oak, same thing. Drilled all the holes in the same places that it was on the original piece. Should line up. Now there's another piece of metal that will go across. It'll go through these holes. It's going to cover this up, and there'll be a winding mechanism here that'll move the window up and down once everything's put in the car. But right now, the next thing to do is I'm going to take that whole section there. I'm going to go try fit it in the car. I measured it at 26 inches. It should fit in there just fine. We'll trial fit her, and we'll show you there in a couple minutes. So there's the rear window wood in place. It's not nailed in right now because I have to go buy some small tacks to nail it in. All of the wood basically gets nailed in. As you can see there's little holes. We got to get some more nails to nail the sheet metal in place. The same thing goes around the inside of the rear window as well. It goes up along the sides, across the top and down the side there. As soon as I can get that in place, I'll do that. We still have to fix the drains on the bottom of the sheet metal, but right now I've got it in place it fits, it's the right shape, everything is good. There are actually some supports, some metal supports that go from the top of the rear window over to the side window, and that's what they attach the upholstery to. We don't have those. I don't know if I can make them or not, but I'll have to talk to my friend there, see what he's planning to do for that. And as well, we do have a package tray here we got from the Deuce Merchant out in BC. It's an original one. The metal is really good. We just got to do some dolly work onto it. So this section here actually bolts up to the front part of that tray there. And then there's a window mechanism that fits in this hole. So either this episode or next, we'll work on that and getting the bottom of that tray fixed up. Well, that's it for another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Finally got the louvers done on the hood for the Camera Ladies Roadster. That was kind of what we wanted to do. We needed to get those done in order to do the final paint on the hood, final fit the grill. I didn't really want to do anything until I had that over and done with. We also got the 35 Ford hood done up with the triple rows onto it at the same time we did this one. Stammering for my words there, I'm sorry. What I've done since I've put this on though, I've also dummied up the side pieces too to make sure that I had a pretty reasonable fit inside, and it's kind of, I'm pretty much where I need to be. There is a possibility that once I put everything on that I might have to move the grill shell up or down a little bit. But right now, everything is centered. Everything goes down the way that I want it to. I've got good gaps and it lines up now, so I'm happy. And then on the 5-window coupe, we got the rear window wood made. It's not nailed in yet, but we got it made. Everything fits good. I just got to get some of those tiny little nails. We'll continue wrapping that up. But anyways, that's it for this week at Coldstream Rod Shop. Hopefully you enjoyed the louvering episode, and you'll come back next week and see what else we're up to. So please like, share, tag, and subscribe. Everybody have a great week, and happy Easter, by the way. Everybody take care. So here's another toy my friend picked up, Pullmax 6. He bought it a little while ago. He's just got it hooked up. His grandson hooked up the 3-phase power to it. It works right now. Slow and fast. It came with a few different dies that came from whoever he bought it from, kind of neat or whatever. We either need to go get some other dies for it. I don't know if there's anybody in the Atlantic Canada region that's got some dies that they want to part with for a machine like this. If so, please reach out to us. We'll put you in contact with the owner. If not, then what we're going to do like other people did. We're going to make a mold of what we want to make and then make up our own. But anyways, looks like, fingers crossed, I get another toy to play with at my friend's place. Don't have one of my own, so at least I can play with this one, hopefully.